Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm back making new videos. Hopefully this will last, but I want to help talk to you guys today about why I've taken this leave of absence, the anxiety, depression, and the mental health that we go through as men that we don't talk about a lot of the time. Okay, so as I stated, I'm back. We'll see how long this lasts. One of the reasons that I took a leave of absence is, and I look terrible. We just got home from trout fishing. I got my nasty old hat on and everything like that, so I apologize. But if I don't do this video now, I'm never going to do it. So I want to talk to you guys about why I took my leave of absence. And it has a lot to do with mental health. And basically I was going through a lot of anxiety, depression, and just downright worrying. I don't share a lot of personal information on here. And I try to keep it as focused on the channel as I possibly can. But about 7 to 8 months ago, my wife was diagnosed with heart failure. Her left ventricle was down to only 5% function. She came, I may get a little bit emotional talking about this too. She came that close to dying, that close. She's only 38 years old, and they were talking heart transplants, they were talking pacemakers, defibrillators. It just was a long, scary road. To think that she was going to die, and just how sudden it came on, you know, it just shocked me to my system. It just shocked me to my core, and just it scared the hell out of me. You know, I've faced a lot of death in my life. I don't know if I've ever shared how much death impacted my younger life. I had one uncle die when I was 16. My dad died when I was 19. I had a nephew die when I was 21. 2 more uncles died, and another aunt died before I was 24. So death has always been kind of there, and as you deal with that much death and that much trauma at one time, you kind of get numb to it. And you know, by the time my aunt died, I loved my aunt too. I called her Aunt Boo. Her name was Beulah, and when I was a little kid, I couldn't say Beulah, so I called her Aunt Boo. And Aunt Boo, especially at that time when she died, she was the rock of our family. You know, she was about the last one left of her generation. And by that time, I was just numb to it. That was, 20 years ago. So when my wife got sick, it just came out of the blue, and it hit me hard. I put on the stone face for everyone around me, but in my private times, there was a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, just stuff that I didn't want anybody else to see going on. And my motivation at that point was strictly making sure I was doing everything for my family that I could do. So I wasn't doing anything else. I wasn't doing any gunsmithing. I wasn't doing any bow work. I didn't hunt last year hardly at all. I literally went out during rifle season, killed 2 deer, the first 2 deer that I seen that I had legal tags for. We drug them out, I processed them, and came home. I was so scared to get away from the house because I was scared that something was going to happen to her. I was scared to come down to this basement and work on something because I was scared she was going to need me upstairs and I wasn't going to be up there. So I was scared to get away from her. So that's one of the things that has contributed to this. But another thing that's contributed to this has been an ongoing battle for me. I deal with extreme panic attacks and anxiety. And I have real bad panic attacks. I know everybody kind of probably deals with it, but I have real bad panic attacks in crowds. I hate going to crowded places. I hate getting a long distance away from the house. I have a lot of trouble dealing with things like that. And when I have to deal with that kind of stuff that makes me uncomfortable, it got to where I was having anxiety attacks and just breaking out in cold sweat. Felt like I was having a heart attack and just breaking down inside, to the point where we went on a vacation about an hour and a half from the house, just going to be a weekend vacation. I had to come home. I mean, our first night there, I couldn't handle it. I had to come home. It was Labor Day weekend, I believe, last year, and a ton of people in town. It may have been Labor Day weekend. Yeah, it was Labor Day weekend last year. Um, COVID had just kind of let up, and everybody was just kind of out letting their hair down, and I had to come home. The crowds and the traffic jams and things like that were just too much for me. I could not deal with it, and the medication that they put me on to deal with those things made me numb. I mean, made me not care about anything. I just did not want to do anything. I had to force myself to do anything. And the doctor that I was dealing with, they're doctors. They're supposed to know what they're talking about, right? You know. He put me on this medication, and this medication turned out to be really bad for me. It was giving me nightmares. It was actually making my panic attacks worse. It was I was waking up in the middle of the night in full-blown panic attacks. In the morning I was getting up and having to just struggle through the day to get to go to work and to get out away from the house. All I wanted to do was sleep. All I wanted to do was stay in bed and just not have to deal with the world. And that was going on for a couple years. And the primary cause of it, I went to a new doctor. I said, this is not working. Talked to the doctor. He changed me to a different medicine. Same thing. Talked to him about going off the medication or talking to someone else. Didn't work. Talked to a therapist. The therapist told me, go see another doctor. Go talk to someone else. So I went and talked to another doctor, and that doctor pulled me off of all that medication. So I'm completely unmedicated now. And it turns out that they were giving me medication for anxiety and depression, and that medication was actually exacerbating, try to use a big word and I end up sounding stupid, exacerbating the problem. Was making it worse. So I've been off that medication for a couple of weeks now, and I feel like my old self again. I'm motivated. I want to go out and do things. I'm still worried about my wife, still worried about her health, but I'm not breaking down inside, and I'm not, I've got control over it. So it was the medication that was causing everything, and the doctor that I'm seeing now believes that I did not have anxiety and depression to start out with, that I had ADHD, which makes sense to me now that you talk about that. You just don't think of having ADHD as an adult, but I'm hyper. I can't focus on one project. When I'm down here working on one gun, I'm thinking about another gun, and I'll literally stop in the middle of it and go grab that one and start working on it because, I think I know the problem. I know the answer to that one now. And then I'll get in the middle of it and I go back to that one. And then, during the day, my mind's going 90 miles an hour on, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. I can't calm down, I can't sleep, I'm hyperactive and just really lacking any kind of focus. I'm working on 70 different projects because I've got so much energy that I'm pushing toward those. And that's the way I was before they put me on the medication, and it's the way I am now that I'm off the medication. And it seems to me now that the medication is the problem. So as guys, we don't talk about mental health, and we don't talk about, I'm having an anxiety attack, I'm having a panic attack. We don't talk about those kind of things. And that's one of the reasons why I lost my motivation, was because for a couple of years I've been on medication that was completely wrong for me, and it was exacerbating the problem. And I didn't want to hunt, I didn't want to get out of the house. I had that heat stroke a couple of years ago. When I got away from the house, I was afraid I was going to have a heat stroke. Can the ambulance find me if I'm out here in the middle of nowhere? If I got to drag this deer out, am I going to have a heart attack? Now, today, we went fishing. We were out in the heat all day long. I went out and shot. I got a couple new pistols. I went out and shot those, and we were out going all day long. Never had any trouble. Never had a bit of it. So mental health is really, really important. It can completely destroy a person. And I will be honest, there was a point when I was going through that I got suicidal. I even got to the point where I had it picked out where I was going to go and what I was going to do. And that is no way to live. And it all comes down to talking to the right person. For me, it was a therapist. My therapist's name is Lonnie. And Lonnie pushed me in the right direction and got me going and got me, talking to my wife about it and talking to my son about it, talking to other people about it, and it got me more comfortable with talking about it, more comfortable with dealing with it, and now we're on the road to recovery. And I hope that road to recovery is going to include more videos. Because now I've got videos, I'm back to my old self where I've got videos in my head. I want to do this and this, 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 and this, you know, and I think it's going to lead to a road where we're going to see more videos. I'm going to expand those videos because there's a lot of other stuff that I'm into besides hunting. I do gunsmithing, I do bow work. I'm going to try to get set up and do some pistol competitions. I really like to doing some of the pistol competitions. They look like fun, and I really got into guns lately and modifying different guns. I've got a Savage Axis that I'm doing a build on right now, and I'm going to do some weird things. I'm going to try some things out and see if I can make the stock that's on it more adjustable and things like that. I'm going to eventually take that Savage Axis and make it into a long distance precision gun based off of just the action alone. The barrel will be gone, the bolt, I don't know if I'll keep the bolt or not, but the trigger will be gone, the stock will be gone. There will be a lot of stuff replaced on that. And when it's done, the only thing that will really be a Savage is the action on it. So that's a build that I may end up including in a video series, doing that. And there's some things on the stock that I'm going to do with the factory stock. There's a couple things I'm going to do that I know work and I know make it more accurate. And then I'm going to make myself a Kydex cheek rest, and I got an idea on how to make the buttstock on that adjustable. It's either pure genius or it's pure lunacy. I don't know which one it is, but I thought it would make a great video either way. If it's genius, great. Everybody else can maybe do what I did. If it's lunacy, well, you get to see me in an utter failure and get to probably see me break down and cry in that video too. So we're going to move forward. We're going to go back. I wish I could do some more hunting videos, but it looks like this fall we had to let our lease go. If you don't know, having that many hospital bills is really, really expensive. And our lease was $1,000 a year. Actually, it was bumped up to $1,250 a year. Could not afford it anymore, so I had to let our lease go. So I have nowhere to hunt this fall. So if any of you guys are in Southwest Missouri and know of some hunting land around the Joplin, Carthage area, hook me up. Let me know, because I don't have a bow right now. I sold my bow. I sold my gearhead, and I loved that bow. I sold my gearhead. I got a recurve, and I got a crossbow. So that's what I've got to hunt with. But the plan is to pick up a cheap bow that's 4 or 5 years old, you know, an old Blowtech or something like that I can pick up for $400 or $500 and be able to go out hunting. I literally, we had an auction. I sold almost every tree stand that I own. I sold my Jeep. I sold my bow. I sold some guns. I sold just about everything that I had as far as hunting stuff goes. I mean, I sold everything. I sold it at an auction this spring that was basically me and one other guy combined. I had that much hunting stuff that we sold. So, got to pay the bills. You got to sacrifice something. So I'm starting from scratch on hunting stuff. I mean, I've got a couple tree stands, a climber, and that's it. I got 2 tree stands and a climber, and that's it. A couple sets of sticks, and that's about it. So rifle season, I'm good to go. I've still got my .6, and I've still got, you know, it's pretty easy to go out and kill something with a rifle if I can find a place to hunt. So that's where we're at, and that's where we're going forward. But really, the message of this video is that I'm back, kind of what I've been dealing with, and things like that, and where we're going from here, you know. And mental health, guys. Talk to your wife, talk to your significant other. It doesn't make you look weak. It doesn't make you look like any less of a man. It might actually save your life in the long run, because I really think it saved mine. Because there was a time when I was really, really close to pulling the trigger and going out and doing something stupid. And I cannot believe now, today, that I was in that shape just a few months ago. So go talk to someone. If you're having mental health, help, talk to me. I'm here. I've been through it. I can help you out no matter what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with anxiety and depression, the loss of a loved one, or you got a loved one who's sick, I've been through it, you know, and it's scary as hell, but I'm here. And if you want to talk to me, reach out to me through YouTube, comment below, and hit me up on Facebook or something like that. I'm always here, and I'm always willing to talk, and I'm always willing to help, because it was a guy that reached out to me that really helped me get over those things. So that's it. If you guys want to help the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. That does help. And if you do want to help in a financial way, I'm in no way, I got nothing to offer you on Patreon. Not a thing. If we can start building Patreon up, maybe I can start doing some, I can definitely do something where our Patreons get access to me as far as talking to me and things like that, but I offer that to everybody, so everybody's willing to get a hold of me in any way, shape, or form. But maybe I can do something on Patreon where I'll do some videos that are just specifically for you guys, and I'll also do something along the lines of being able, I'll narrow it down to 2 or 3 things when we do product reviews, and let you guys pick on which product review that we do. And anything on Patreon, it is not going to go toward medical bills or anything like that. It's strictly for this channel. That's another reason why this channel kind of failed, is there's no money here anymore. I'm making $100 a month now, versus a few years ago I was making $600 or $700 a month, and I always folded that money right back into Ike's Outdoors as far as buying bows. There was a time when we were at our height where I was making $1,200, $1,300 a month. That's when I was doing a lot of Hoyt, Matthews, Motec reviews like that. So I always fold the money that we make off of YouTube advertisements back into this channel. None of it goes toward my pocket. Now, the cool thing about it is those things that I reviewed, I got to go hunting with them. So if I bought a bow, generally I'd sell it and buy another one. Review that one, sell it, buy another one. But I would get to, eventually at the end of the year, I'd have 1 or 2 really good bows and tree stands and stuff that I bought. Of course, I had access to go hunting with those. So it was a win-win for me as far as hunting supplies go, but it also folded everything back in this channel and kept this channel operational. And that is just not there anymore. I mean, basically, you can look, I can actually find the numbers on there. It's public domain to find out how much money I'm making on YouTube. And right now, less. When I quit making videos, I was making around $100 to maybe $200 a month. So to do big expensive reviews, I basically had to wait a year to be able to afford some of the high dollar bows out there. So if you do want to support us on Patreon, I appreciate it. I'll put a link in the description below, and then we're going to move forward here. I'll try to do 1 video a week, but sometimes it may be 1 video every 2 weeks, 1 video every 3, stuff like that. So we're going forward with guns, EDC, archery, hunting, gunsmithing, maybe some fishing videos, stuff like that. So, and I'm going to reach out to you guys too, and as far as asking questions. I got a video I'm getting ready to do on EDC. I'm going to show you what I carry, and I'm going to ask for tips on what I want, what you think I can upgrade, and what you think is just fine for what I'm doing. So that's where we are going forward. I appreciate you guys watching, and any of you guys who are still here after this time that I've been off, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. You guys have been here for 12 years now, so a little break of a year, or however long it's been. You sticking around for that long of me being gone, I really do appreciate it. So that's it. Thanks for everything. Comment below, let me know what you want to see and what you want to see going forward and things like that. And as I said, if there's anything that you're going through that you need help with, feel free to reach out to me in the comment section below, on Facebook, through email, ikesoutdoors@yahoo.com. Contact me there, and I'll be happy to help in any way, shape, or form that I can. If anybody's got any hunting land in Southwest Missouri, let me know. It's going to have to be free. I'm going to have to get permission to go hunt it for free. The one thing that I might do this fall is go on a hog hunt. So that'd be just about it. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me, and I'm sorry this video is so damn long. I only intended it to be a few minutes, and here I am 20 minutes into it. So I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. I appreciate you sticking out. And here's to the future, and hopefully we can get this channel back up and going again.